Hey y'all, welcome to Robyn on the Farm. Today I have some bananas that look like this that I don't want to go to waste. So I'm going to use my bread machine to make a classic banana bread. Banana bread's a quick bread, so it doesn't use yeast. It uses different leavening agents. It uses baking soda and baking powder. It's really quick to make, it's super simple, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. You might be wondering, why would I make banana bread in my bread machine if it's pretty simple to make the traditional way, when you mix it up and you throw it in the oven? Well, let me just tell you, it is even easier in your bread machine. So if you've never tried it, it's a great thing to try. Also, I really like doing it this way in the summertime. When I don't want to heat up my house, turning on the oven, your bread machine won't do that to your house. So that's a great thing. Also, when I'm baking and cooking a lot during the holidays and my oven is full, then your bread machine is like another little mini oven for your breads. It's a really great recipe and I hope that you try it. Let's just get started. You're gonna wanna start by spraying your bread pan for this bread so it's easier to get out. So give your bread pan a good spray or oil. Like traditional bread machine recipes, you're gonna put all your wet ingredients in first and then your dry ingredients on top of that. So we're gonna start with 2 eggs. I have 2 pretty eggs here, a pretty green one and a pretty brown one from our chickens. I'm just gonna throw these in here. Let's see. Okay, so I got my 2 eggs in my bread pan. You don't have to whisk them up or do anything, just throw them on in. Next, I need 1/3 cup of butter. You can also use 1/3 cup of oil if you want, but I did some melted butter. I think it tastes really good in quick breads to use butter. Now you need 2 tablespoons of milk. Just throw that in there. I'm using some raw milk, full fat raw milk, but you can use whatever kind of milk you want. Okay, now I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. If you know that's gonna taste good with a teaspoon of vanilla in it. Ooh, or maybe a little more than a teaspoon because I just totally overpoured it. Okay, now you're gonna put in your bananas. These are 2 medium ripe bananas. My bananas look just like this, so they're super ripe. I just put them in a bowl, used a fork and mashed them up. So this is 2 medium bananas. I measured it just to make sure to keep it standard, but it's a cup of bananas. So throw that in your bread pan. If you can see it, it looks like this. All the wet ingredients are in there now. Now I'm gonna use 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. So this is my all-purpose flour. Just gonna kind of measure it out, just throw it in your bread pan, 1 1/3 cups. Okay, now you need 2/3 cup of sugar. I'm gonna use 2/3 cup of brown sugar. You can use 2/3 cup of white sugar if you want, or you can use 1/3 cup white sugar, 1/3 cup brown sugar, but I think brown sugar is just really good in banana bread. So I'm using 2/3 cup packed brown sugar. Okay, now we're gonna add our leavening agents. We're gonna do a teaspoon of baking powder. So a teaspoon of baking powder, just throw that in there right on top of the flour. And 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, just throw that in there too. And our last ingredient is salt. You want 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So just throw that in there right on top of everything. Super simple, no fussing. You just throw it all into your bread pan. So here are all of our ingredients in the bread pan, ready to go into the bread maker. So I'm gonna stick it in this bread maker. This is an old Sunbeam bread maker I've had sitting on the shelf, and I always pull it out for my quick breads. I think that someone gave this to me as a wedding gift back in 2003. So this bread machine is still kicking, it's still doing good. It's made us tons of quick bread and other breads too. My bread maker has a setting for quick bread. It also has a setting for sweet bread. I was inclined to think maybe I should use the sweet bread setting when I first did this. But no, you might have to play around with your bread machine and see what yours calls it. I have heard that different bread machines call them different things, but whatever setting it is, it needs to be about 1.5 hours or 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's what you want. You don't want the 3-hour settings because that'll knead your dough and let it rise and knead it again. You don't need that for quick breads. Okay, so check out your bread machine, check out the settings. Mine is quick bread. I have my quick bread setting selected. It's gonna take about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I'm gonna just press start and it is going to mix it up and bake it all in the bread machine. It is so simple, so easy. I just love it. There it goes. So this is what you want it to look like. It's important to remember that quick breads are batters and not dough. You don't want it to look like your yeast bread that you make in the bread machine. You want it to be very liquidy like this is. This looks exactly right. So no need to add more flour or do anything like that. You don't want it to be a ball of dough. I will let you see this in about 1 hour and 40 minutes, and we will have a beautiful loaf of classic banana bread made entirely in our bread machine. It's pretty cool. Okay, the banana bread is done. I just got it out of the bread machine, and it is ready to come out of the pan. The banana bread looks great, looks nice and brown and done. Looks great. Doesn't look gooey in the middle or anything. It's totally like sponged out. Looks amazing. So I'm gonna turn it out onto this plate. Let's see if it comes out easily or not. Yep, it did. See that? It came out really good because we sprayed it. If we hadn't have sprayed it, it probably would be a lot harder. Bread machine banana bread will be shaped a little bit different than you're used to, a little bit different than just plain old loaf pan banana bread. But it looks pretty good. I think it looks great and it tastes amazing. So let's try it out. Banana bread is great for breakfast, but it's also really good just for snacks. That's really why I make it. We like to just grab it off the counter and eat it. Okay, I'm gonna try a little bite of this. It's really good. So try it out. Let me know if it turns out good for you and if you like it. And I will see you next time on Robyn on the Farm. Please like, share, and subscribe.